Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the city of Rochester Hills. We are thrilled to host you here today, where every day looks exactly like this. We are proud to have you here at Yates Park in the shadow of one of our most famous buildings. It's really an important point just to make that the cider mill just over my shoulder opened in 1863. And you can imagine the change it's seen over the last 150 years. If you can imagine, of course, it opened originally as Yates Grist Mill. And if there are any trivia buffs, this is a relatively easy question, but anyone know the president in 1863, of course, was Abraham Lincoln. So this site has seen a lot of change and a lot of transformation, and that continues with our announcement and press conference here today. Fast forward another 150 years, and we're all gathered to talk about the next change that this part of our communities will see. Now, here in our community, we do resident surveys every couple of years and know that the issue that vexes our residents the most is traffic, congestion, and moving around our community. And so the work that's going to be done here is in direct response to that. Elected officials, the county, and local levels, hearing those concerns, listening, and doing something about them. We're here today because of a tremendous collaboration between the Road Commission of Oakland County, the Great Lakes Water Authority, the Macomb County of Roads, the Macomb Department of Roads, and Shelby Township, all working to do several things. Some of the speakers may mention these. Improve safety for the vehicular traffic behind me at Avon and Dequindre, adding some beautiful landscaped roundabouts, numbers 9 and 10, at least in our city, to effectively move traffic, eliminate dangerous left turn head-on interactions, constructing non-motorized pathways that will provide more walkability, and of course adding and being proactive about a 96-inch water main that will ensure reliable and dependable water service and delivery for many years to come. 96 inches doesn't sound great, but when you think about it, I could raise my hands, walk down the middle, and not touch the top of a 96-inch water main. All of this was with one singular purpose: to make getting donuts easier.
Exactly.
Yes, one. Thanks, Dave. You understand the importance of that. I want to recognize and thank several folks here that are certainly important. There are a lot of folks from the city of Rochester Hills here, led by our director, Alan Schneck. Our Department of Public Services is here. Thank you all for the hard work that you're doing and will do on this project in every aspect, from planning to execution. This is really a tremendous amount of will indicate and require a tremendous amount of your attention, and I want to certainly thank you for that. We couldn't do this without partners like the Road Commission for Oakland County, the Great Lakes Water Authority, the Macomb Department of Roads, of course, and Shelby Township for making this project a reality. And let me just say in closing, what you see here today is somewhat unique. You see governments working not in silos, but working together. Organizations not in conflict, but collaborating. Leaders not at odds, but in agreement. Leaders from different counties, leaders from different parties. But you wouldn't know any of that today. You see people working together for the betterment of the community. And I'm proud to be a part of that. And I think that Abraham Lincoln would be too. So thank you all for your time here, and we look forward to this project.
I'm glad you pointed out the donuts, because that's really the reason I came up here. There's, what is it about fall that makes you want to spend extra exorbitant money on cider and donuts, but they just taste so much better. And this is the one that I remember going to as a kid, so I'm excited to be here, and I am going to make that stop after. But Mayor, what are we doing here? Are we going to, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Just do it out.
Yeah, there we go. Let's try that. All right. Thank you, buddy.
Sorry about that.
All right, how's that? Excellent. So, as the mayor alluded to, it really is great to see so many leaders from so many sections of not only our county, but the region. My friend Mark HACKEL, thank you for crossing Dequindre and coming on over here to this important project, because like so many projects, it's critically important for both of us. We're in this together in so many ways, with our local communities, with our partners in the region, and this is just another great example. And I'm glad to be here with our friends in other units of government. And the collaboration, as the mayor alluded to, with GLWA and the Road Commission for Oakland County. You guys have been great partners with me and my administration, but also with each other. And this is ultimately what it's about. I've adopted this tagline of Oakland Together for my administration, and this is exactly what I mean. When all of us come together and put aside whatever other differences we may have for the good of our communities, we can get a lot of stuff done. And this project is a great example of what we can do, and I'm really excited to be here. Not only, as the mayor said, to help ease the congestion on this wildly popular stretch of highway, and that's an important piece of this project, but also to ensure safe drinking water for our residents. To increase pedestrian access and safety in this stretch of highway as well. Those are also critical investments that we need to make. And this is a major investment. It's not an inexpensive one. But I want to say this. For this region of Oakland County and for this region of Southeast Michigan, these kinds of investments are going to be critically important, and it's why, if there are any members of Congress watching, I want to encourage you to get the infrastructure bill over the finish line, because those are the kinds of that's the kind of bill that's going to allow us to do this on an even grander scale. And I don't know exactly what that price tag will be yet, but through the state of Michigan, we're going to get literally billions of dollars for bridges and roads and highways in our state, and it's so critically important, and this is just one reason why we know that that's true. So it's great to see everybody working together. It's great to see you all in person, and by the way, hopefully we're going to get the utility companies. I'm looking at the engineer now and some of the folks from the Road Commission. But hopefully we're working in partnership with our utilities, I believe that we are, so that they can do any upgrades that they need to do to this stretch of the highway as well. Because I think any of us that have been in local government for very long know that can be the most maddening part of a project when you rip up a road a year later. So I assume we're working with our utility partners. So I just want to say I'm excited for what this means for Rochester Hills, for Oakland County, for Macomb County, and for all of us. So thank you so much for being here and having me be a part of it. Thank you.
Interesting enough, I kind of bring a different perspective, and I say that because credit goes to the Great Lakes Water Authority for making this happen, the forward thinking and the understanding of why this is necessary. You don't want to wait till we have a problem. We often see that, the reactive nature of government taking care of problems after there is a large-scale problem. You say everybody understands the problem we had with our 15-mile sinkhole. That's something that I think should have been looked at many years before, and probably could have been prevented had we have done some maintenance with that, or even replacements. We're fortunate. I've got Candace Miller, who's our Public Works Commissioner, that's doing a lot of that. After seeing that incredible tragedy we had, disaster in Macomb County, there was that forward thinking. But the unique perspective I bring, and I say it for this reason, this Great Lakes Water Authority didn't exist. I became county executive, and then all of a sudden this grand bargain came about, and they decided to figure out how do we, I guess they wanted to figure out how do they monetize the Detroit Water Sewer, and they turn it into this authority within the region. And so I had a partnership at the time with Oakland County, and Brooks Patterson was at the table, and obviously I was as well. And there was a lot of wrangling and a lot of discussion and a lot of challenges, and there was some good and bad that came out of it. But make no mistake about it, the best thing that happened out of that was the representation we have and the people that we got to appoint to that board. In Macomb County, I was fortunate. I turned to the locals and asked, is there somebody they would be interested in having appointed to that, as opposed to somebody from the county? And I say that because the county didn't buy the water from Detroit. The municipalities bought the water. They were paying for it. So they brought about a name of an individual at that time, Bryan Baker, who sits on the board for the Great Lakes Water Authority. And uniquely, he no longer works with Sterling Heights, but he does work with Candace Miller. So we've got two things going in Macomb County when it comes to the underground issues. Candace Miller taking care of our problems with our sewer and the drains. And then we've got Bryan Baker, who really understands what's going on with the water systems and trying to make sure that we're providing fresh water to the residents throughout this entire region, or should I say, throughout the entire Great Lakes Water Authority region. And so being here today, I think it's important to realize or recognize the reason why that came about. The Great Lakes Water Authority has done a great job, and this is a prime example of, as Brian and Dave had pointed out, bringing people together to try to figure out how do we solve this problem, because Great Lakes Water Authority couldn't do it alone. They need the Road Commission support. And so we've got Brian Santo and our team here in Macomb County that works along with Craig Bryson and his folks and understands the massive nature of the problem we have with our roads in and around the entire region. And having them at the table and making sure that if there is a problem or an issue while they're taking care of, redoing the water system underneath, we understand because we're at the table having those conversations. So there is no misstep where they put something in and then we realize, well, now we got to spend or waste taxpayer money to fix the road above the ground. And the relationships with the locals. In Macomb County, 27 municipalities make up Macomb County. It's not just the county, it's those municipalities. So there are municipalities that have an interest in what's going on here with this particular project. And so the relationships that have been built and I think brought together through the Great Lakes Water Authority and the creation of that are the reason why we're here, and I can't thank them enough for their forward thinking on behalf of the people that are serviced by the authority. But more importantly, it's the people working within that organization that are willing to reach out and have these conversations. I'm excited because I think as many of you, we all travel our roads. I mean, there isn't probably a road in your area that you're not complaining about or a bridge you're complaining about. I've been up and down this corridor, I couldn't tell you how many times. I mean, I actually run and I bike in the trails in the back here. I've been in and around this area, and I've even bought donuts at this Yates Cider Mill, which, by the way, I think they were given the designation of the #1 cider mill donut in the state of Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. And so with that being said, many people traveling around here, and we understand the challenges with it. And you're going to see a complete transformation here that I think is going to be incredibly well received. People don't notice the water underneath. They're not realizing what's going to be being transmitted or transferred underneath here, but they're certainly going to see what's going to be happening when it comes to the road project above ground. And it's because of the partnerships that we've had with the Great Lakes Water Authority that people are going to be very satisfied. Those that need to drink water, making sure that there is no problem in the future, but also those that are traveling this roadway. And I'm excited about that. Again, one more project being taken care of. As David mentioned, there's a massive project, problems all around the entire country. And here in West, I should say, in this region, we know we have some challenges, but as I say, there isn't a road we can't fix, a bridge we can't replace, or an underground sewer project or water project we can't take care of if we have the proper funding. It's not about figuring out how do we fix them, it's about how do we figure out how do we fund them. And I'm very hopeful that some of that money comes from the federal government soon. And again, I know people are going to be happy that it's happening, but when a construction is going on, they're going to be complaining during that process. And with that being said, there's going to be a lot of information given to the public to make sure they understand each and every phase of this and how it's going to be put out so they can figure out alternative routes. Because I know our road department and I know Oakland County's road commission are going to continue to keep people informed throughout that process as well. So again, to the Great Lakes Water Authority, I want to thank you for having that forward thinking of keeping our water fresh and safe and keeping it moving for those that actually drink the water here in Southeast Michigan. So thank you again for having me. I appreciate it.
My name is Andrea Lalonde. I am the chair of the Board of Road Commissioners of the Road Commission for Oakland County. And our Director of Engineering, Sam Fitzer, will be up shortly to discuss the specifics of the project. I'm here to kind of talk about the partnership, which has also been highlighted by our county executives. Government agencies are sometimes criticized, and I feel like I could just stop right there, but are sometimes criticized for not coordinating when we have work that's happening in close proximity to each other. And this is absolutely not the case on this particular project or series of projects. We, the Road Commission for Oakland County, have worked hand in hand with the Great Lakes Water Authority to bring these projects to this point. Additionally, we've worked very closely with the Macomb Department of Roads, with the City of Rochester Hills, and with Shelby Township. And this has been a very collective effort to try and make sure that the work is done, coordinated, and with as little disruption to the community as possible. So not only has the Great Lakes Water Authority undertaken a massive effort to improve water service in the region, they've also been great partners with us. And once their work is done underground, they will restore the roads that they have disrupted, and they will actually build them back better than they were before, which is a benefit to everybody. So along those lines, when we're finished, this corridor will also have improved traffic flow, but will also be safer. We will have 2 roundabouts that will be installed that will prove to be a safer intersection, kind of to move traffic around the particular area. And because of this increased traffic capacity, the roundabouts also help move the amount of traffic through, and we expect to see much better access to businesses, to homes, and to parks and schools in the future. So again, the tremendous partnership that we're undertaking here will be a great asset to this area, improved infrastructure for our communities with the least amount of disruption possible, given the size and scope of the work that's being done here. And I want to applaud everybody that's worked so hard to get us to this point today. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Sam Fitzer. I'm the Director of Engineering for the Road Commissioner for Oakland County. And in partnership with Macomb County Department of Roads, the cities of Rochester and Rochester Hills, and Shelby Township, the Road Commission for Oakland County completed a preliminary engineering study in October of 2020 that spanned along Avon Road between Dequindre and 23 Mile Road. The goal of the study was to improve traffic flow, vehicle traffic, and pedestrian safety, and preserve the historical, business, and recreational and environmental context of the area. In order to address these goals, the Road Commission for Oakland County coordinated with our utility partners and will construct a roundabout at the Avon-Dequindre intersection.
So no worries about that.
No worries about that. And we'll also be replacing the Avon Road Bridge over the Clinton River that is currently in poor condition. This work will begin November 1st of this year and conclude at the end of August of 2022. Additional improvements called for in the study to meet our goals will be included in GLWA's portion of the project. And GLWA will construct a roundabout at the Avon and 23 Mile Road intersection and widen East Avon Road between these two intersections to provide a center left turn lane. As part of both of our projects, the Road Commission for Oakland County and GLWA will also construct pedestrian facilities to connect the adjacent parks and Yates Cider Mill. I'd be happy to address any questions that anybody has, and thank you for having me.
Good morning. As Craig introduced me, I'm Cheryl Porter. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Great Lakes Water Authority. I'm responsible for the water and field services in our organization. I want to thank you for this opportunity to be with you today to share the information of our upcoming installation of a new 96-inch transmission main. This will provide treated drinking water to more than 1 million people in Oakland, Macomb, and Lapeer counties. The coordination of our project, along with those others that have been talking today, is this cross-functional agency and infrastructure collaboration that we imagined 5 years ago when we created the Great Lakes Water Authority. And I believe that this is a shining example of the regional collaboration on which we were founded. Working hand in hand with our partners on projects such as this can help us all not only maximize the investment in our infrastructure dollars and see them go a longer way, but it also minimizes the disruptions to our communities. As the water and wastewater services provider for southeastern Michigan, GLWA operates 816 miles of transmission main, usually starting at 24 inches. And that serves over 112 communities. We are committed to collaborating with our stakeholders across the region to make infrastructure improvements that will help continue to provide water of unquestionable quality. As a part of our efforts to ensure high level of service with our member partners, which our member partners deserve, and ensure the resiliency of the region, GLWA will be installing a new 96-inch diameter transmission main along a new route. This will require that we decommission 2.5 miles of existing transmission main to improve access for future operation and maintenance. The project will not only relocate current water main outside of businesses and residents' backyards, which is always a good thing, but it would also improve our ability to operate and maintain our assets. GLWA is proud of the effort to collaborate with the Road Commission for Oakland County and other many stakeholders who have projects in this area. This coordination will ensure that the roadways and the drinking water infrastructure improvements are coordinated, avoiding disruption of new road improvements, and improve traffic flow and pedestrian safety, which have already been mentioned. Jason Matteo, who is our engineering and design consultant from Jacobs, will be up next to talk about the timeline and the greater details for this project. Thank you.
Again, my name is Jason Matteo. I'm a project manager for the project with Jacobs Engineering. And on behalf of Jacobs, I just want to first say that we're very proud and honored to be part of this project. This is a very important project that the other speakers have already talked about. It's a regional, expansive drinking water project that will provide many benefits to the region, both in Macomb and Oakland counties, including future improved operations and maintenance of the pipeline that serves over 1 million people in drinking water, safe drinking water. And we'll also provide several, as part of our roadway improvements that we're going to be designing and constructing as well, provide several access, future operations and maintenance of the pipeline, as well as better improved access and traffic flow and pedestrian safety improvements as well. So there are a significant number of benefits of this project that we're really looking forward to. We're excited to be a part of. So with that, I wanted to provide a few details. There are 2 exhibits here on my right. And Exhibit B presents the selected route of the new water transmission main that is about 2.5 miles long, and that will connect to the existing system from 24 Mile, and then we'll follow the Macomb Orchard Trail down Dequindre, and then behind me in Avon Road, and then continue down Dequindre, and we'll tie in on the southern end at Hamlin Road. So it's approximately 2.5 miles of water transmission main. That route was selected after a very exhaustive evaluation that we did along with GLWA and several of the local communities. There are many stakeholders involved in this project, including the Road Commission for Oakland County, Macomb County Department of Roads, and other county departments and utility providers, and the list goes on in terms of project stakeholders that have been involved from the very beginning in this project, and they were part of the selection of that route. We selected that together. So in addition to the 2.5 miles of water transmission main, there will also be 4 new valve stations that we are currently designing and that will be constructed. That those valve stations will be very important, again, to be able to provide for easier access and for maintenance and operations in the future for the drinking water system. Several other project facilities are also under design. Those facilities will allow for maintaining drinking water service during the project. That includes 3 dechlorination and discharge facilities, a temporary booster station, and several new small diameter water mains. And again, I already touched on the roadway improvements and pedestrian safety improvements that we're also designing as part of the water transmission main relocation project. Also, there will be several trail landscaping and hardscaping enhancements along the section of the Macomb Orchard Trail between 24 Mile and Dequindre, again, that we're also designing. Exhibit C to my right provides an overview of really both projects. The GLWA project is in the blue line work to the right of Exhibit C, and then more of the purple line work represents the Road Commission for Oakland County roadway improvements that Sam has also presented. So you can kind of see how there's really not going to be any overlap. It's important to note that no new pavement will be removed and replaced as part of that. So we're working very closely with and coordinating with the Road Commission on that as well. So that the blue line work again shows the section of the 2.5 miles. So as part of the Avon Road improvements that we're referring to, there really will be approximately 2,600 feet of 96-inch that will be installed as part of the Avon Road improvements. So that's really the first phase of our project that will span over multiple years. Construction of the GLWA project in Avon Road will begin in November of 2022, and that will extend through approximately mid-August of 2023. And the reason for that construction start date is to ensure safety during construction of both critical infrastructure projects, to reduce construction risk, and also that accommodates local access to businesses and as well as this park, Yates Park, and residences as well. Following completion of the Avon Road improvements, future phases of the GLWA water transmission main project and other project facilities that I previously mentioned will be constructed over several years. This project is under design, as I mentioned. Our design is expected to be completed in 2022. A construction contractor will be selected by GLWA and using a qualifications-based selection. And once that design is completed and that construction contractor is selected, the project scope and schedule for the overall budget will be finalized at that point. Temporary road closures will be necessary, obviously, to complete the water and roadway improvements included in the overall GLWA project. Again, from November of 2022 to mid-August of 2023, Avon Road will be closed to through traffic, but local access to residents, businesses, and parks will continue during construction. That will be provided, local access will be provided during construction. Future phases of the GLWA project after August of 2023 will also require road closures. That includes on Dequindre Road between 23 and 24 Mile, on Dequindre Road between Hamlin and Avon Roads, and then on 24 Mile between Dequindre and Shelby Roads. Detour routes will be developed in close coordination with the Road Commission for Oakland County, Macomb County Department of Roads, and those selected detour routes will be shared via our project webpage. Road signage will be posted for all phases during construction. Lastly, is a local resident that personally uses this travel corridor on a nearly daily basis, along with several others from our design team, our Jacobs design team. I'd like to personally thank, on behalf of our team, everyone involved in this project, from several departments in Macomb County and Oakland County, as well as the City of Rochester Hills, the City of Rochester, and the Shelby Township to implement these important and beneficial water and roadway infrastructure projects.